Got it. Admit all. Oh, I see. Miss Miners. How did that happen? I'll go ahead and excuse
Yes,
her.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Well,
All right.
to do what?
Okay, everyone, please
I
stay
can't understand
muted.
yet.
Everyone, please make sure you are muted. Please, please. All right. Good morning. Welcome to County Court 9. Deputy Butler, do you want to make your announcements? Okay. We can go ahead and proceed. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. I'm assuming you can. All right. So, can you hear me, Chris? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Everybody, I'm sure, is aware of the latest glitch on the radio this morning that an individual was kept in jail beyond the time that he was supposed to. And that makes me want to say something about that. I was very honored to be able to participate in a.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. Who is that? All right,
I
I
had
think.
I had just got added onto it. Here for court.
Okay. All right. We'll be with you shortly. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, all right.
All right. Everyone, please stay muted until I start calling the docket. So basically, someone was kept in jail longer than he was supposed to, and that is unfortunate, obviously. But I feel, and I was saying that I participated in um, the Day of the Girl. That was at Hemisphere this weekend, and it was a very wonderful group that they had. Um, all these young girls and boys were introduced to what a court is sort of like, because they are trying to empower these children to try to reach their highest potential. And the parents are doing a great job. But what I got from it was that the legal system was presented in a positive light. So many times, the legal system, when there's any kind of publicity, has a negative impression. And so I want to just remind everyone that unfortunately, we're all human and mistakes happen. We don't know exactly how that occurred, but we all are committed to protecting and defending the Constitution, which means we want to make sure that everybody is their constitutional rights and protections are respected. So this happened, unfortunately, but I don't think that anybody deliberately. I'm just making assumptions, but I don't believe anybody would deliberately ignore a court order, because a court order is how we actually allow our rulings to be acted on. So, unfortunately, we've been through a terrible time. We're still having problems as a result of the pandemic. And I've said it before, communication has suffered immensely. We all have different messages, and that's unfortunate because it's not always accurate, it's not always true. And I think that this is a very isolated incident. And now that it's become to light, I know that the sheriff is going to do everything to make sure that that doesn't happen again. So, and I guess I want to also say that everybody has been working really hard because we are trying to catch up with all the unfortunate lack of attention that we could give our clients because of the pandemic. We had for a long time, it took us as judges quite a while to learn how to get on Zoom, to get up to speed on technology. I still have some problems with it, but it does enable us to conduct court, even though we're not physically in the courtroom. I still see some very worrisome statistics about the pandemic. I think we're hopefully at the end of this major impact, but we have to be very careful and be very mindful that we do not want to cause anyone else to get it or to get it ourselves. I think I saw something like 140,000 children in our country have been orphaned as a result of the COVID. That is a really terrible situation for those children. That's very, very worrisome. So I just wanted to share with you that unfortunately, we are working under the most difficult circumstances. Even though we are able to conduct our court proceedings through Zoom, it is not the same as actually being in person. We are working toward that. We are starting to have jury trials again, which is a constitutional right of every one of us. And I love to quote John Adams that said that the right to a jury trial is the heart and lungs of our liberty. Jury trials are very, very important because that's where you get the most exercise and respect for your constitutional protections. Furthermore, Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman on the Supreme Court, and I'm going to paraphrase, she said that our Constitution is considered the backbone of our democracy. So we all need to be mindful of how we handle everyone's constitutional rights, and I know we are. Sometimes I have to remind myself on a daily basis, how does this constitutional protection impact each case? So I just wanted to take the opportunity to try to explain how these things happen, unfortunately. All right, I'm now going to call our docket. Deputy Butler. I don't have Deputy Butler today. Oh, that's a real loss. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to call the docket in the order in which the attorneys have appeared so far. And Mr. Michael Beliveau, will you please tell me the name of your client and the cause number? I only need one cause number.
It is Michael Rodriguez,
Okay.
669369. He's on page 2, roughly line 4.
All right, thank you. And is he present, sir? Michael Rodriguez, are you here, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Thank you, sir. Marking you present. What would you like to do, Mr. Beliveau? Do you want to confer with the state?
I would like to confer, Your Honor. This is his first sighting, so I would like to confer.
All right, and you will be getting the breakout room prompt in just a second. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bill Simmons? I see Mr. Simmons, but he must be on another Zoom. I'll come back.
Oh, good morning, Your Honor.
Oh, good morning. All right, good morning. And
I have Mr. Mune here.
is that M-U-M-M-E?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and the cause number?
His cause number, Your Honor, is 620147.
All right. And is Mr. Mune here?
I'm not sure. We had lost contact with him a while ago.
Okay.
We sent another text to the last number we had.
All right. So, Mr. Mune, are you here, sir? Okay, and you don't think you have a good phone number for him, Mr. Simmons?
I don't, I would think it's a good phone number because I believe there was a warrant put out for him and he was arrested, but he made bond, and we did reach out to the bonds person to get a contact number, and that is the number that we attempted to reach him on.
Okay. Well, I'm going to wait to decide on a warrant until the end of the docket. If you can get a hold of him and have him come in for a couple of minutes,
Yes,
I
sir.
would prefer not to issue a warrant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. In the meantime, do you want to confer or do you want to just
I
come
would like
back?
to confer, Your Honor.
All right. You'll get a breakout room any second now. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Roberto Vargas?
Good morning, Your Honor. Page 2, the last person, 669386, Christopher Medina.
Thank you. Is
He's,
Mr. Medina here?
yes, Your Honor.
Great. Thank you.
Your Honor,
All
this
right.
is the first setting. We're just asking for a reset so I can have his ALR hearing.
All right. So November 29, Mr. Vargas, okay?
Thank you. Can we be excused?
Yes, sir. You all can both log off. Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
You too. Charles Mays?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
I have Ms. Mia Gonzalez, and cause number is 669255.
Okay.
Judge,
And,
I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
is she here? Do you see
Ye-
her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. I marked her present. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, she's got a felony pending, and we got a court on November the 2nd in the
Okay.
437.
All right. If we reset that for December 2, will that work for you?
Yes, Your Honor, that would be
All
great.
right. Okay. So then, do you have anything else on our docket?
No, Your Honor, this is it.
Okay. All right, sir. Then you and Ms. Gonzalez are excused and welcome to log off. Have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a great day, Chief.
Thank you. John Carroll,
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
morning.
I'm
Go ahead.
I'm here on the case of Karina Perry, case number 610090. It's not on the docket. She was arrested yesterday on a motion to revoke probation with a remain without bond order, and we are requesting a bond.
All right. Can I take that up with you after the docket, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you need to go and take care of something else, and come back about 11:30. Okay.
Will do. Thank you.
All right. But I'm going to ask: is Miss Perry here? She is in custody, right?
She's in custody, Your Honor.
But we didn't bring her. Okay. All
I
right.
did request her and I don't know why she's not in yet, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe they only have 2 positions and we need to move them around. Okay. That's fine. We'll take it up after the docket, Mr. Carroll. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. James Altersdorf. I'll come back. Vanessa Garcia. Vanessa
Good morning.
Garcia.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am here on Mr. Ernest Parker, cause number 634457, and I do need to confer with the state on this case.
Okay, and is Mr. Parker here? Do you know?
Yes, he should be present. Mr. Parker, can you please announce?
That's okay. I see him. Thank you, sir. Marked you present, sir. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. So, do you wanted to confer? So you should be getting that prompt any moment. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So, before I go any further, Miss Miners, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Mr. Lowry tells me that your matter was addressed during jail court. Is that correct?
I do believe so. I was told that I had the trespassing charge, and then I had a $60 bond for a $20 theft charge,
Okay.
but I have
So-
no knowledge of that.
Okay, so Mr. Lowry is conferring. Mr. Kemi, do you know what the disposition on that was?
I do not, Judge. I can see if I can look that up.
Okay, if you can, we'll come back in a second. I just,
Thank you.
if she doesn't need to be here, I don't want to make her stay.
What was
Okay.
the cause number, Your Honor?
You know,
Or-
it's not on our docket, so, but I did call Mr. Oltersdorf. He did show up, and so I'm gonna call him again in a few minutes.
Yes, we did see the judge. I mean, we did
Oh.
see a judge, and he
Right.
did tell me that I'd be going home, but I was concerned about that $60 theft charge that
Yeah.
I've never gotten in trouble for it before.
Okay, I think probably that's going to be addressed later on, but I assume since you had the hearing before the judge that you probably don't need to be on our docket today.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so I don't get any paperwork or anything when I,
the paperwork should be probably in the works at this time. It takes a little bit of time. It has to go through several hands.
so do I just
you
wait
know,
for it?
What I will do is when I get done with this docket, I'm going to mark this so I can look up the paperwork if I need to sign anything. Although
Okay.
I don't think so because you're in jail court, that judge would have signed it.
Yeah.
So, but I will double check, okay?
Okay, so I may be excused then?
Yes, ma'am. You
All
have
right.
a great day. Take care.
God bless you.
God bless you, ma'am.
I
Take
really
care.
appreciated what you said this morning about that inmate too.
Oh, okay. Thank you
Very
very
much
much.
so.
Yeah, I think it's very important that we all understand what's, how things happen so it's not any ill intent there, okay?
And thank y'all for your service. I know it's not easy. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let me see who else is here. Mr. Kemi, I just made you co-host. So that means on the next one that gets sent to a breakout room, you are free to go and join any breakout room.
Your Honor, okay, I'm typically, I thought I was gonna be invited to join, I have to be invited to join those breakout rooms. Is that?
No, because you are co-host, that gives you the freedom to move around.
I see, Your
At
Honor.
will. So you can you
I
see the
see.
breakout rooms?
I sure can.
Okay, and then you can just go to whichever one is next and,
Okay,
you know.
okay, thank you, Judge.
okay, thank you, sir. And thank you for helping us. Okay, let me see, Mr. Beliveau, did you have a chance to confer, sir?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. The ADA advised me my client has a felony that might be coming down the pike, so we would like to reset this.
Okay, so has it already been indicted?
It doesn't even show on the system yet, but he says he cannot make me an offer because it is a felony out of the same incident.
Okay, I'm going to reset this to December 14 so that there'll be enough time to try to get everything
All right.
in place, okay? All right, so is there anything else on our docket, Mr. Beliveau?
No, ma'am. May my client and I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Mr. Michael Zamora.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here on
Good morning.
Francisco Jimenez, page 1, bottom of the page, 669279.
Okay, thank you. And is Mr. Francisco Jimenez here?
He's a guest of Bexar County right now. He has an
Ah.
unindicted felony out of the 186th, and Lorraine Efron is his attorney on that.
Okay, all right, then I'm going to, you're welcome to confer, but if you have other things you'd rather get to, I can
In light
reset-
of the seriousness of the felony, I anticipate this is going to be taken into consideration.
Okay, so let's just reset this to, how about December 2? Will that work for you?
That will work, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Zamora, it's always good to see you. You have a great day.
Thank you. You do the same.
Let me see. Everybody is very, very busy this morning, and I don't see any other attorneys that I have not addressed. So, let me talk to Kayla Williams. Will you please unmute yourself, ma'am? You'll see a little microphone. Click on that. There you go. Who is your attorney, ma'am?
I haven't talked to him yet.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to say that again.
I haven't spoke to him yet.
Okay, do you have a name?
My name?
No, for your attorney. Do you know who he is?
No.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. Oh, okay. Actually, you do not have an attorney. So what I want to do is I want to put you in a breakout room, Miss Williams, so you can, well, let me just first advise you that you have a right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court, you can apply, and if you qualify, the court will appoint one. But do you want time to hire an attorney, or would you like to be interviewed to see if you qualify?
Can I see if I qualify for it?
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in a breakout room. You'll see on your screen, join room such and such. And when you do that, Ms. Castillo, our court coordinator, will talk to you and get information from you and give you information, okay?
Okay.
So that by the end of this court hearing, hopefully you'll have an attorney. You'll know the name, okay?
Okay.
All right, Miss Williams. So look for that prompt. If it says join room such and such, obviously she did. Okay. Let me also, Mr. David Torres, you're waiting for your attorney, Mr. Hitchings. Is that right? David Torres?
Yes.
Okay. And everyone is very, very busy trying to address our cases. So we will wait for Mr. Hitchings also. But I'm going to give you a choice, sir. I can mark you present and you can go on to work or anything else you have pending. And I will excuse you. But if you prefer to wait for your attorney, that's certainly perfectly welcome also.
Um, being Wade, you don't know how long he'll take.
No, sir. Now, they usually have many settings, and typically they'll go to the felony settings first because those are a lot more significant cases. So sometimes they will not get here till maybe after 11:30.
Yeah.
But you tell me if you have time to wait, you're welcome to wait. If you need to get to work or something that's important, I can excuse you, and I will advise him of the time that I excused you.
That'll be fine if you could excuse me.
Okay. So let me do that, Mr. Torres. I'm marking you right now as present. And I will, at this time, you're just welcome to log off, and I will advise Mr. Hitchens I excused you at 10:32. Okay?
All right, perfect. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Esquivel is waiting for Mr. Jimenez, but I think you probably want to wait. Can you unmute yourself, Mr. Esquivel? Should be a little microphone that you can click on your screen. Okay, there you go. All right, so
if I'm not mistaken, Jimenez, we had just had a court date in this courtroom, like on the, I think it was the 31st or the 30th
okay,
of
30th.
September, and it got reset to November 16th.
Oh, okay.
I'm not too sure, ma'am. I don't know if that's why he's not here.
Yeah, and maybe you're maybe right. I don't know. But we like to bring people that are in custody into our court to make
Yes,
sure
ma'am.
that you're not overlooked. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, but Aleda, is there a particular reason why Mr. Jimenez is here? Other than that? Well, Aleda is probably in a breakout room right now, so she cannot hear me. So, Mr.
no paperwork right now.
No paperwork?
That's right.
Oh no, that's
Paperwork right now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know who was saying that. Okay, so Mr. Esquivel, I'm going to excuse you, sir, so that you can go and take care of other things. Unless
thank you, ma'am.
unless you prefer to wait, but
I haven't talked to my attorney recently, so if I could be excused, that'd be cool.
yes, sir. You're excused, Mr. Esquivel, and I
All right,
mark
thank you,
you
ma'am.
present. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right. Miss Vanessa Garcia, did you have a chance to confer?
Yes, Your Honor. And we would like a reset. We're going to confer further when with Brent comes back as to offer. So if we can just get a reset, please.
All right, so November 29, will that work?
Yes.
All right, then you and Mr. Ernest Parker are excused and you're welcome to log off. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Simmons, Bill Simmons.
Good morning, Your Honor. I
Morning.
just conferred with the state. We have an offer. Again, we're still just trying to reach out to Mr. Mume. We would think that that offer would take care of this case, but again, we need to get contact with him.
Okay, so, all right, so do you know why Mr. Mume is not here today?
We're not sure. Like I said, we have the phone number that we got from the bondsman. He's been arrested 3 times, and so we've gotten that number, trying to reach out, but we have not spoken to him. He did get a text to that number that we got from the bondsman about today's setting, and my office is still currently trying to get in touch with him.
All right, so, all right, are you going to ask me just to reset this without issuing a warrant?
If it pleases the court, yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
But I don't think we would need a particularly long reset here.
Okay, November 29, will that work?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, Mr. Simmons, I'm just resetting it to November 29. But please impress on Mr. Mume that it's very important to appear in court when he's scheduled to do so, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. And I'll try to, if we can get it arranged beforehand, I'll let the coordinator know to
All right.
plea, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simmons. You're excused and you're welcome to log off. Have a great day.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Okay. So, compliance hearing on Mr. Diaz, okay. Well, let me go ahead and get my paperwork in line for this. Mr. Diaz, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Thank you. Who is your attorney, sir?
I don't have one on this case.
You don't have one on this case? Oh, okay. All right. So let me see if I can find. I want to find out why I had you come in for a compliance hearing. So let me see if I can find that. Are you Gabriel Diaz?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. You need an attorney, sir. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you to go to a breakout room, and Ms. Castillo will talk to you about. I mean, actually, you have a right to an attorney, right?
Is this for the theft charge or the violation for bond?
I don't know what it is. I just have here your name, cause number, the fact that you do not have an attorney, your bail bondsman, and Kayla Martinez was here for this hearing, but I don't see her.
Okay.
Kayla Martinez, are you here? I asked them to come in at 11:30, so it would be after the docket. So let me ask you to stick around, sir, because I want to find out what it was that I thought was a problem.
I was gonna ask, can I put in a motion, or I can't put in a motion?
Well, unless you've been to law school, it's really hard to know what's the proper one. What did you want to ask for?
I just wanted to ask for a bond, cause I'm remanded without bond right now.
Right. Well, because it is an MTR, I guess, right? Is that what it is?
No, it's a violation for pretrial.
Okay, right. Okay, well, since you brought that up, I didn't write down here what it was that I wanted to talk to you about. It's really, really important, sir. When you are arrested and you're released on a PR bond, you have conditions that you promise you're going to follow. So one of those conditions is reporting to pretrial, because that is what's keeping you out of jail. The fact that you report and do what you had said you would do, it may be, and I don't know what the allegation is, but it may be that you need to do some kind of drug testing or alcohol testing, or perhaps you need to stay away from certain places. It could be all kinds of conditions that they will give you when they let you out of jail. I mean, I can't imagine anybody wanting to stay there, right? So if you don't want to be in jail, you need to follow those conditions, right? Because I get reports from pretrial. So-and-so has not even shown up to report, and it's been 3 months or it's been 2 months. And then, you know, if I say, well, okay, let's give him another chance, check back with me in 15 days, and then it's still the same thing, then I feel like, you know what, I have to get your attention and get you in here. I do not like doing that. Okay, so will you look and see what your bond conditions are, sir? And report to pretrial, please?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, if, I'm not saying that you can leave right now, but I just want you to understand why you're here. Because you did not follow your bond conditions, that's why you're here, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So, I don't want to keep you in jail any more than we have to. So, I need for Miss Martinez to come and give me a report, because if you're going to abide by all your bond conditions, then there's no reason to keep you in jail, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And I don't know whether you were aware of that when you were released. So that's why I want to be very careful to, I don't want to issue arrest warrants. Okay, but I wasn't there, I don't know. But when I get more than 3 violation reports, I feel like I have to do something about it. Okay? So, okay, so I'm gonna ask you to stick around a little bit, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. All right, so it looks like I'm going to look up these reports that I'm active on today, and I'll be back. You'll be able to see me and hear me, but I'm going to go to another screen so that I can get some paperwork done. Aleda, are you back from conferring?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Okay, Mr. Diaz is here. I'd like for him to go in a breakout room with you. He doesn't have an attorney, and he's here on some violation reports from pretrial. So,
This is, I did send you some information on his cases. Yeah, and it's
Okay.
got about 4 by email.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll go ahead and look that up. Let's see. Okay, I'll look for it in a second. I'm not on the right screen right now. Okay.
Your Honor, is there anyone waiting to confer?
I don't think so. I think we still are waiting for attorneys to come from other courts at this point. I will double check. I'm on another screen, but I'll be right
Okay,
back
sure.
and I'll check. Okay. Okay. Can you all hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, thanks. A minute ago, it didn't seem like anyone could hear me. Okay, Aleda, I don't know if you heard me on Mr. Diaz.
We need to put him in a breakout room so we can discuss a possible counsel.
Right. As far as the misdemeanors, obviously the felonies, they will appoint someone.
Breakout room.
Okay, thank you. So we are waiting for quite a few people.
Mr. Matthew Finch is running late.
Yeah, everybody
Oscar
is.
Hernandez, re-invite. Eduardo Jimenez, re-invite. Ronald Zimmerman, re-invite. And Barry Hitchens, re-invite.
Mhm.
And then 11:30, you're compliance.
compliance hearings. Yeah, that's what I was gonna go get my reports so I could have them in front of me. So I'm not neglecting anyone if I go to that other screen, right? So I'm gonna go there.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Lucio, remove your hat, please.
Buenos días.
This is the deputy. Remove your hat, sir.
Mande. Oh.
Miss.
Stay muted, Mr. Diaz. Mr. Lucio, mute your microphone, please.
Perdón. Hola. Hello.
Everyone, this is the deputy for the court. The judge is having technical difficulties in getting her audio to work so she can talk to you. So stand by. ADA Larry.
Yes.
The judge requires your assistance.
Your Honor, I'm in my office if you want to call my office, or I have my cell phone as well.
Good morning. Could I confer with the ADA that's handling
1 second, sir.
Gabriel
The judge is-
Diaz?
This is the deputy for the court. Judge is having audio issues, and when you sign on, please stay muted until she recognizes you. Thank you. She'll get with you in just a minute when she gets everything resolved.
Okay.
And we'll see if we can. There, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Wow. So I went to Outlook to pull up some violation reports, and Outlook was very, very slow and unstable, and it apparently affected my audio. So I've been trying for the last 10 minutes to figure out what to do there. Okay, but you all can hear me now?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, so Aleda, I'm going to have to ask you to pull up those violation reports for me. See if Outlook works for you, please. It just was not responding to me, and it told me so. All right, so Mr. Valdez. Good morning, Mr. Valdez. Can you
Your
unmute
Honor,
yourself, please?
Mr.
Morning,
Valdez
Judge.
was just appointed.
On the Gabriel
I
Diaz.
cannot hear you. I don't know. Are you saying something?
Yes, Judge. I was just appointed on a Gabriel Diaz. Can you hear me, Judge?
Well, what is going on? Let me try. Mr. Hernandez, I guess, left. He was exasperated. Mr. Zimmerman, can you hear me? Can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, Judge. I
Cannot hear
allegedly.
you. I don't know.
Can you hear
What
me
is
now?
going on here?
Can you hear me?
Okay, try it again, please, Mr. Zimmerman.
Unknown
caller.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I'm waiting to see if I can hear Mr. Zimmerman. Can you say something, sir?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Can you?
Well, I can hear you on my phone, not on my computer.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest, so I don't echo to everybody else.
Okay.
Glad you have that.
So
Glad you have that
go into
workaround,
your
Judge.
setting. So by the mic, go into select a speaker and see if you can switch it to your headphones. Yeah, Chris, let me know when she thinks she's got it.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, Judge.
I'm going to go into settings. Now, do I go to the one that's in my Zoom or do I go to the one on my computer?
It should be in Zoom.
All right.
So if you click on that caret, it'll open up all that. And instead of clicking on audio settings.
Okay. See, I'm not there. I have to come back to Zoom. I'm actually on my computer there. Okay. I'll go to the mute and microphone array, Realtek audio, headphones.
Try the headphones.
Okay. Can you say something?
Okay, Judge, can you hear me through your headphones, Your Honor?
My phone. Let me put my phone quiet so I.
Your Honor, can you hear me through your headphones?
Okay. Can you hear me, Mr. Lowry?
I can hear you, Your Honor,
I
but
cannot hear you. Why is
cannot
that?
be able to hear us.
Okay,
On your
go
main,
back to settings. No, instead of that, I'm just going to go to the microphone icon on my Zoom. I'm going to go to audio settings. All right, test speaker. My headphones is what's listed. Maybe the volume.
Judge, instead of when you go to audio settings.
Yes. Actually, that's working. That's working.
You can hear us, Your Honor?
I can hear you now, and I turned off my phone. Okay. Okay, the test says it's fine. And I can hear you and y'all can hear me, right?
Yes.
All right. I don't know what happens. All right. So I'm back. Mr. Hernandez, I know you were waiting for me to recognize you. I'm sorry. I had problems with my audio, sir.
Absolutely. Good morning.
Good morning. Who are you here on today?
Misty Moss, she's on page 1, number 5.
Okay. All right. And is she here?
No, Judge, I don't have any contact with her. She's released on PR bond, and the number they gave me, no one's answering or responding, and PR says that she's not reporting to them either.
Okay, well then I guess I'm just going to have to issue a warrant. As much as I don't want to, we're not going to get her in here unless we do that. All right, so then I would thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Sorry that it took so long to get that information.
Be blessed, Judge.
You have a wonderful day. Take care.
Likewise.
All right, so let me see, I know Mr. Hitchens has a client here waiting.
Yeah, Your Honor, Barry Hitchings, I got stuck in the 386 juvenile court and then county court 4 with Judge Jimenez. When I checked in, I didn't see him on the screen. I called him up and he said he's on the road, but he had checked in earlier. I just need to confer with either Mr. Kimmy or Mr. Lowry on an offer to pass on to Mr. Torres.
Okay. Yeah, I actually, oh, maybe not. I thought that I had excused your client, but you talked to him, right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right,
He
so-
said he was here and I guess got tired of waiting for me in these other courts.
Yeah. Is he the only client you have today?
In this court,
Oh, okay. Then I must have excused him. Let me see. I put it down somewhere. Yeah, David Torres. I excused him at 10:32. Okay. So, and you wanted to confirm, Mr. Hitchings?
right, either Mr. Lowry, Mr. Kimmy, or anybody else from the DA's office.
All right. You will be getting a prompt momentarily. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay. So, Mr. Ron Zim. Oh, Jerry Valdez. I know I called you earlier, and I could not. You could not.
Yes,
I could
Judge.
not hear you. Sorry about that, Mr. Valdez.
Okay, Judge. I was just appointed to Mr. Gabriel Diaz. He's a
Okay.
prisoner.
All right. Good. So, do you want to confer with him since he is
Yes.
here?
I need to speak to him and then one of the DAs after I finish.
Okay. So you will get a prompt momentarily and join that room, and Mr. Diaz will be sent there also.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Now, Mr. Zimmerman, I'm sorry. We've tried this a couple of times, but I think you can hear me and I can hear you now.
Okay,
All right.
we're in communication. Good.
Right. And you're here on what defendant?
I am here on Sandra Karina Lamus,
Okay.
and that's on page number 1 at the very bottom of the page.
Okay.
And it would be case number 669302.
Okay. Do you happen to know if she's on Zoom?
That I do not know, Judge. I can tell you I have not been in communication with her.
Oh, okay.
It's also my understanding that she does have a warrant for a burglary of a habitation by force, and that is outstanding at this time.
Okay. All right. So then we're just, she has a warrant, so we're just not going to reset it. We're going to wait till she's picked up.
Okay, Judge.
Okay.
I think it would be premature at this time for me to talk to the district attorney until we figure out what we're going to do on the felony. So,
Sure. Okay. Are you the attorney on the felony also?
no, I am not, Judge.
Okay. All right.
I will
Well-
petition. I will petition the court, whatever court it is assigned to eventually,
Yes.
to be her attorney.
Oh, that would be great. Okay. All right, Mr. Zimmerman, then we're just going to hope that we get her in court sooner than later. And we will let you know as soon as that happens, okay?
All right, thank you, Judge. And if
Thank
I may be excused.
Yes, sir. You have a great afternoon. Take care.
You too.
Thank
You
you.
too, Judge.
James Oltersdorf. Good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am, I'm late. I got in the car and started to the courthouse thinking I had a in person, but either way, I'm not sure why I'm in your court. I don't have anything on my calendar.
Right. And you had a young lady earlier, Miss Miners, and
She
that was
was,
taken care of in jail court.
yes, ma'am. We were in jail court this morning on that. Is that who you're calling about? or
That's who, yeah.
Oh,
And
good.
so
Okay.
she was here, but I excused her. I told her I didn't think that we needed to keep her here.
Well,
So-
Judge, just if I may, she was, we got on Zoom at 8:30. She was competent. She wasn't or they didn't think she was last week. She has pled. So you'll be receiving information about that. That's been done by Judge Garcia, Hippo. I'm sorry, not Hippo. I'm going way back in the past here. Canales.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. So thank you, Mr. Oltersdorf, for checking in with us.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You are excused. Have a great day. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye. All right. So Alida, are you back?
I'm here, Your Honor. I have sent you the violation reports that you had requested.
Unfortunately, you sent them to me on Outlook.
Yes, but they're there in the Adobe if you want to just go in there.
I'd rather go there because my Outlook was really a mess. Okay, Mr. Carroll, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
All right, and I see you're back. Okay, I just need to get my paperwork and we can proceed on your matter, okay?
Very good, thank you.
Let's see.
Hey, Judge, is one of the DAs available?
Yes, who's speaking? I'm not on that screen right now. I
I'm
can't
sorry,
see
Judge.
you.
This
No,
is
it's all
Jerry
right.
Valdez.
Oh, yes, sir. Did you want to get in line to talk to one of them?
Yes, ma'am, please.
All right. Alida will put you in a breakout room right now. You should get that prompt any moment, okay?
And Judge, earlier I got kicked out, so when I came back in, it might have made me, I'm not sure that I'm a host any longer.
All right, Mr. Kemi, let me make you a host now. Let's see. Okay, I'll come back to this. I'm not very good at navigating between screens, so let me make sure Mr. Kemi is a co-host. What? Mr. Kemi, I guess if you'll start your video, I don't know, that makes a difference, but it's not giving me the option to make you a co-host. So let's see if that makes a difference. I don't know. Let's see. All right, what is the problem now? Doesn't show that you're a co-host.
Well, if whoever is handling the breakout rooms, they could.
Well, I know because as host, I'm the only one that can make you a
I see.
I keep saying we got gremlins, but I really become more and more convinced as I keep having problems. Okay. All right. So maybe what I need to do is make Aleda host so she can make you co-host. Maybe it'll give her that option. Let me do that right now. Oh, Aleda, you still our host. That's the problem.
Hey, Judge, let me go ahead. I just made Kimmy co-host.
Okay.
And
Yeah, 'cause
let me pass you the baton right
now. That's that. I didn't realize I wasn't host. So,
Okay, thank you. There we go.
thank you. Well, there's always a reason, an explanation, right? Okay, Mr. Carroll. Well, I'm going to try to navigate over to Adobe Sign so I can get what I need. So we can do that now. So I guess in the future, Alita, when we're going to have compliance hearings, will you put those in the docket so that I can print them off of that or have them available? I don't know what the answer is. So I don't have to be coming to these other screens.
Right. When the dockets are already made up and these are after the fact, that's why I put them as add-ons because they're, there's no way it can be put in because the dockets have already been generated.
I
But
understand
some I'm able to if with plenty of time. But if it's within 2-3 days, those dockets are already out.
Because I'm looking on the completed. They're not there. So it looks like I have to go back to Outlook. All right, so I guess what I'm going to do, I'm going to, maybe they're here under in progress. Let me see if that's the deal. No, they're not. I've got conditions. Everything that I've signed is here, but it's not the violation reports. All right, well, is Miss Kayla Martinez here? Maybe she can just help me get through these. Kayla Martinez. All right. I have no idea why I wanted this compliance hearing because I don't have anything to look at. But the bottom line is, Mr. Carroll, on your client.
Yes, Your Honor.
Like all judges, I get these pretrial violation reports. A lot of the problem is if it's a DWI, they haven't gotten their ignition interlock or they have not. The real problem is when they don't report to pretrial at all. So your client is here?
Your Honor, she's in custody.
Okay.
And this is a probation case.
Oh, it is a probation case. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So Corey, can you help me on this? Why did I want a compliance hearing on this?
Okay, Judge, I don't think you wanted a compliance hearing. I think Mr. Carroll wanted to, first amend a motion for bond.
Oh, it's something about a bond reduction, right? Or setting it for bond?
Setting a bond.
Okay. All right, so this is Diana, what, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Karina Perry.
All right. And she's not on today's docket, or is she?
No, Your Honor, she was an add-on,
All right,
and
so-
I just called it in, and
All right.
apparently they have her on the booking area.
All right.
So she hasn't been processed there, and my understanding is that she's with COVID, so they were not gonna bring her up here.
All right, so the bottom line is, I need some input from Chris Lowry. I'm trying to figure out how to get him on a chat so I can ask him to step out for a minute. And I've had Mr. Carroll come back just for the specific reason. So I'd like to go ahead and address this now.
Your Honor, can you make me co-host when you have a chance?
Okay.
It's like Chris is in a breakout room, Your Honor.
Yeah, I see him, but I don't know how to get a hold of him without just going over there myself.
Do you want me
Okay.
to?
Okay, yeah. Tell him that I need to have him appear on this for a second, please.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Mr. Hitchens, do you have an announcement for me?
Yes, Your Honor. I talked with Chris Lowry. He's made an offer that involves my client completing a driver safety course up front. And then Mr. Lowry's agreeable to pretrial diversion. And I'm thinking if we get a 30-day or a little longer, that should allow him to complete the driver safety course and apply and hopefully be accepted in the pretrial diversion.
Okay, November 29, will that work?
That should do the trick, Your Honor.
Okay. If you have nothing further, I'm going to excuse you as well as Mr. Torres already excused. So
Right.
you have a great day.
Same to you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, so Mr. Cole Nettles, while we're waiting for Mr. Lowry. Mr. Lowry's not back yet, right? No. Mr. Cole Nettles?
Hey, how are you doing this morning, Judge?
Oh, pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Your Honor, I just have two today that are on your compliance hearing docket. I don't have anyone for just a regular pretrial.
Okay. Joseph Verestick?
Yes,
And
Joseph Verestick and William De Leon.
William De Leon, yes. Okay.
Both should be logging on here pretty soon. I did speak with Mr. De Leon this morning. He's at work, but he's gonna log on at 11:30.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. So, all right. So, what is it? I think I asked for you all to appear on Mr. De Leon, right? I
Yes.
think there
So,
was... Go ahead.
sorry. Pretrial Services had submitted a violation report. So, I think in one day, there was a violation report on Mr. De Leon. I conferred with Brett. Brett had agreed to remove the scram device and just have the ignition interlock on Mr. De Leon's vehicle. And then I think it was like that same day, that morning, there was like a reading on, I guess, the ignition interlocks as it detected alcohol. And it seems to be that it's been an ongoing problem for Mr. De Leon. There are a few different things we've discussed to avoid these false positives with the antibacterial, the hand sanitizer, just several other different things that we've had to look into to keep him on the right track, to keep him from having any of these violations in the morning. I think the mouthwash ones were a couple at the very beginning, but there have been a few others, that we've struggled with a little bit here. But Mr. De Leon, just to provide the court a little bit of information, and Mr. De Leon works for Master Flow Valve. It's a limited liability company that works in the oil and gas field. He's a regional sales manager for that company. He often has to travel. So his headquarters for that company is like it's in Edmonton, Canada, but he's also got an office in Houston. He also routinely has to go offshore to the Citgo and Shell drilling sites that are right there off the Gulf Coast. But he's also, meets with these oil and gas clients, both to sign them up as well as to basically keep them happy with his company as far as their ongoing contracts go. And so Mr. De Leon is sort of in a very tough situation where if he is required to have the Scram device, he will surely lose his employment. That this company is not going to be okay with Mr. De Leon having an ankle monitor while meeting with their the rather high-end oil and gas clients. He definitely will not be able to travel to these oil wells where there are all sorts of safety protocols. He must wear steel-toed boots. They have to wear PPE, like the covering. I have to have all sorts of special equipment on, and that is not going to comply with that Scram device. It has to be on direct skin contact. And so, Your Honor, there are several issues here with, I guess, with the Scram device, with Mr. De Leon's current life that he is living. And so we are asking the court to remove the Scram device, keep the ignition interlock. He has that on his vehicle. He will continue to adhere to those conditions. But we are, at the mercy of the court to ask that the Scram device be removed.
Okay, so, and I'm looking at the order. I gave Mr. De Leon 15 days to comply, but I also scheduled this compliance hearing today because this is his 14th violation report. There's a real problem here. Now, I can see.
I'm sorry, Judge.
Yeah, one second. I'm going to ask you to have your input too. But I see that this is a DWI second. And I'm guessing that at some point, since he was not complying with ignition interlock, I ordered anti-abuse and all these other things, previous conditions. His current conditions are ignition interlock and Scram. So I don't think he has to have both of those. Okay. I'm sorry, Ms. Cassandra Montemayor. Now I'd like to hear from you, please.
Yes, Judge. So that is his 14th violation. He does have a 15th violation report that was submitted previously for that high BRAC. And then I received orders to remove ignition interlock and install Scram with 10 business days for that one. I did call the court. I spoke with Chris and he let me know to go ahead and go with your 15th violation report orders.
Okay, so Mr. Nettles, you can understand if I do not want to have anything beyond the third violation report, right? And so this is a real big red flag when I see something like this. How are we going to address the problem that Mr. De Leon obviously has without, causing him to lose his employment? You tell me.
And I don't know that, Your Honor. I do know that if the ignition interlock requirement is continued to be ordered, that will continue to be complied with. He'll continue to keep it updated and on the vehicle. As far as these violations, Your Honor, these machines are not perfect. I know that we like to think that they are. We're trusting them to accurately report the readings that they take on a day-to-day basis. But Your Honor, if you go to any one of these manufacturers' websites, they all have numerous things that will interfere with them. They all have issues with antibacterial hand sanitizer. They all have issues with mouthwash, cough syrup. They're also, and this one is peculiar to me, spicy foods has some sort of effect on the stomach acid and creates methane gas, which would then create a false positive on the machine. And Your Honor, I'm sure that the court understands that these machines are kind of a field piece, right? That they're not 100% accurate. And so, as far as Mr. De Leon and staying in compliance with the court, I genuinely don't know what other conditions to offer to the court because the other situations where we've worked out for other conditions where there was like weekly UAs and things like that, those are again things that I think are going to just be another curveball or another problem in Mr. De Leon's work schedule. He's not going to be able to come to San Antonio twice a week to take a UA every Monday and Friday. And I don't know of any of these other conditions that he would be able to stay in compliance with while also doing everything that he's supposed to do for his employment.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I think that we can conclude he has a problem. This is the second. And I mean, we always hope that when they go through it once, that they will learn that, you know, they have to stay away from certain things. They have to modify their behavior. They have to do things that are going to keep them out of coming to court. I mean, and this is just the second time he was caught. We don't know if he has a real problem. I mean, it's as much for his well-being as for the community that we need to be sure that he is not feeding this problem that he apparently, and I'm sorry, it seems to me that there has to be a problem. But this is pre-trial, and I feel like my hands are tied a bit, but all I can do is just, try to, I mean, that 14 violation, 15 is too much. There should, I really don't think there should be more than 3. And that's pretty much where I'm drawing the line. Obviously he was on pretrial before I started thinking, we've got to make this stick. We can't just let them think that pretrial is not important. Obviously, I'm not trying to punish. I'm just trying to make everyone safe. I mean, it would be really horrible if he, hurt himself or hurt somebody else. So, I'm willing to work with you. I do not want him to lose his employment. I don't want this to be, the end of his career that he's obviously put so much into, but how can I protect the community and him? I hope that you can come up with something, because if it's reasonable, I will be glad to do that.
Your Honor, if I could briefly respond, I do think that the conditions as presently ordered, or with the ignition interlock requirement, I do think that the court is keeping the community safe.
Okay.
Mr. De Leon is not able to operate a motor vehicle if it detects alcohol.
Right.
I mean, even if if we were to say he's hypothetically violating these conditions, he still is never able to operate the vehicle to do that. And so, I understand the court's concern. I understand that DWI in San Antonio is a very big concern, and we do need to keep the community safe. I'm saying these conditions, as originally ordered, are still keeping the community safe. There are, possibly some additional steps we can take. I think, again, it's sort of, I'm just trying to think, outside the box, think of any other different conditions that I think would work. Again, the issue being that I think Mr. De Leon is constantly traveling for work. I just don't think any kind of the UAs or the intensive outpatient program class, like the treatment, I don't know that any of that's going to continue to work. I think we'll likely just be back here on another violation report because he won't be able to comply and comply with his job requirements.
So I guess I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Are you just asking that I remove the scram? Is that?
Yes, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for, is to remove the scram device.
But no other conditions. They would stay in place. Now, anti-abuse, I imagine, if we have ignition interlock, we don't need anti-abuse too. So, I mean, do you think that will keep him safe and everybody else safe if we just do the ignition interlock?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Well, I mean, a lot of times people, well, I guess my question is this: since he travels so much, he flies to other places, he can't obviously use an ignition interlock when he's traveling all over the country, all over the world. So what are we going to do for those events?
Well, I guess in those circumstances, Your Honor, Mr. De Leon's not operating a vehicle when he goes to any of those places. The only vehicle that he operates is his own personal vehicle when he is back here in Texas.
Okay, so I mean, you know, people travel and typically they'll rent a car, right? Because you're saying he has to go out to these remote places to do the testing and inspections, etc. Right?
Yes, Your Honor. And while he is at those places, he is not renting a vehicle. As the conditions on his bond stipulate, he's not allowed to operate any vehicle that's not equipped with the ignition interlock.
Okay. So he is fully aware that someone has to drive him there. Someone has to drive him to any sites that need to have inspection. I guess that's really what I want to be sure of.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So just to make it very, very clear, I guess if you'll submit an order to remove this gram, also making it very clear in your order that he is not to drive any vehicle other than the vehicle that has ignition interlock.
Yes, Your Honor. I can prepare a new order and submit that to the court.
All right. Yeah, and I will sign that. But I want you to also be sure and advise Mr. and I know you do. You're a good lawyer, but I just have concerns because this is a lot of violation reports. Now I understand we're not punishing him. We're not trying to sentence him or anything like that. It's pre-trial. But I don't want him to get into trouble in pre-trial so that when we finally get something worked out, he will have, not have to worry about all the stuff that happened pre-trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your patience and for listening, Mr. Nettles. Now you have another one also on Veristique.
Yes, Your Honor. And so I guess just to recap for Mr. De Leon, I will submit an order to the court to remove the scram, but making it very clear that Mr. De Leon cannot operate a vehicle not equipped with the ignition interlock device. And then is Mr. De Leon excused to go back to work?
Is he here? I don't see him.
Yes, Your Honor. He is on, I think it just says iPhone. It's the gentleman
okay.
with the beard and the work shirt.
Oh, all right. Okay, great. I'm very happy to see that he is here. I do want him to hear my concerns and their concerns for his welfare and the community. So, all right. So, Mr. De Leon, you are excused, sir. Please continue to abide by the conditions.
Yes.
And we're going to remove this gram. But I want you to understand, I have a lot of concern because you have 14 violation reports, sir. That is significant. So, okay. And once it gets to that point, sir, I get a little harder on people. So I don't want to get to that point. So I want you to understand what I'm saying. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I totally understand.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. You are excused, sir. You can log off. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Then on Mr. Veristique.
Yes, Your Honor. So for Mr. Veristique, I believe the violation report came in. I think we had reached a point. Maybe Mr. Veristique had not contacted, I think he had missed an appointment and he had not contacted his pretrial services officer back. When I received this violation report, I immediately called Mr. Veristique, told him to reach out to his pretrial services officer and to schedule a meeting if that was what needed to be done. And it's my understanding that Mr. Veristique did contact his pretrial services officer and that he is in compliance.
Hello?
All right, stay muted, please. I'll call on you in a second, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. Nettles.
It's okay, Your Honor. And so it is my understanding that since this violation report was issued, Mr. Veristique has contacted pretrial services, is in compliance again. This was just a lapse of judgment. It was just a mistaken, a missed appointment.
Okay. All right, so Miss Cassandra Montemayor, do you have any input about this?
Yes, Judge. That is not my defendant. It's Officer Gutierrez. She is.
Oh,
his
is she
officer.
here? Okay.
Yes, Judge. She should be.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, Miss Gutierrez. I can only see part of my screen when I'm looking at documents. So what input do you have, please?
So I have made contact with him, but I did not start supervising him until around July. I did not submit this violation back in June, so I'm just not sure if maybe there was miscommunication between the previous officer and Mr. Verastique, but I have been able to make contact with him.
Okay, good.
Pretty much weekly.
Okay, great. That's good to hear. Okay, so I guess the only other thing I want to say is I want to be proactive about this. I want to help people avoid further problems. So, Mr. Verastik, I know that you wanted to say something, but you have a great lawyer, sir, and he's represented you very well. I just want you to understand that we're getting back from this pandemic. We're all working very hard, and it's very difficult to communicate. So I do want to for you to understand that I am not going to tolerate violation reports beyond 3. Okay, so I just feel like I don't want to give anybody any kind of opportunity to get themselves in more trouble. I know that sounds like I'm being overbearing. I just think that sometimes maybe you did not understand when people told you what bond conditions were, and not just you, everybody, because communication's been very, very difficult during this pandemic, and everybody's been very, very busy. So it's very easy to have misinformation or miscommunications. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. Okay, so I thank you for being here, sir, and I thank your attorney and Ms. Gutierrez, because now I feel like we at least are all on the same page. We understand where we all are. Okay, so all right, Mr. Nettles, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then may Mr. Verastique be excused?
Yeah, let me just say one more thing. You have an attorney that is really advocating for you. Violation reports sometimes get ignored. Obviously, your attorney has done a very good job. He's come and advocated for you very effectively. So thank you. And not just advocated for you, he's informed you. He's kept you apprised of what is expected. That's very important, okay? All right. You have a wonderful day, Mr. Verastique, and you stay safe, sir. Thank you. You are excused. Thank you, Mr. Nettles.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have
And
anything
may I
else?
be excused as well?
Yes, sir. Have a great day. Thank you.
All
Ms.
right, you too.
Gutierrez?
Thank you.
Yes, Judge. May I
Thank
be
you.
excused as well?
Yes, Ms. Montemayor. Thank you so much. Appreciate your input. You take care.
Yes, thank you, Judge. You have a good day.
You too. Ms. Gutierrez, do I have any other violation reports that you are here on?
Yes, Judge. I'm actually also here for defendant Alexander Camargo.
Okay. I don't know if Mr. Simpson is here yet. Mr. John Carroll, I think I made you wait more than I intended to. Mr. Lowry, Chris Lowry, can you please join us for a second?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Carroll is here representing Ms. Perry, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so he is wanting to set a bond for her, and I wanted your input on that. It's cause number, where did I see it? Do you have it easily
Yes, it's
accessible, Mr. Carroll?
610090.
Okay. All right. What is your opinion on setting a bond for her?
My understanding, Your Honor, is they're trying to get a TAP evaluation done. there seems to be some issues with drinking, which has caused a lot of problems in the life. And there's some family that have concerns for the defendant's well-being.
Oh, that, yes. I remember getting information about Miss Perry is having personal problems to the extent that she is not acting in her own best interest. And so I know it's not my job to do that, but I do want to keep her safe and the community safe, sir. So what are we going to do about that? How are we going to do that?
Your Honor, Ms. Perry was placed on probation back in February of 2020. And up to recent days, she'd been doing well on her probation. And then I've seen with the violation report these issues are most recent.
Okay, so your audio
and she was arrested.
Yeah, your audio is malfunctioning. I don't
Oh, I'm
know.
sorry.
It's not you. It's the internet. I'm afraid. After all this time that you've been
Is that
waiting
better?
around.
Is that better, Your Honor?
Yes. Let's try that.
Okay. I apologize. And so last week, she made a bond on the motion to revoke probation, and I understand was instructed to report for a UA to probation on Friday. And she reported to me that she suffered an injury in the jail and struck her head on I think a bathroom fixture, and actually went to the emergency room on Friday and was admitted to the hospital till Saturday.
Okay.
I spoke with Jerry Torres, who is her boyfriend, who's one of the persons who's been reporting concerns about her, and he verified that she did go to the emergency room on Friday. And then on Monday, when she came to report to probation, that's when she was taken into custody on the remand without bond. And Your Honor, previously during the pretrial phase of this, Ms. Perry had a portable breath tester as part of her conditions. So she had her own personal breath test device and used that, and it was very successful, and she was able to utilize it and was in compliance. I think that you could do something like that, Your Honor, as a condition of bond until we get this motion to revoke determined, to allow her to be at home. She doesn't need to drive. You can put a no driving condition on a bond, but we would request that she get a bond. She has family that can pick her up and take her where she needs to go. And that way, to the extent that there's a concern about alcohol use, you've got monitoring. Because up at this point during the probation, I guess because she was doing so well, there was no monitoring. And so we would ask that the court grant her a bond. There are things that the court can do, such as a personal breath testing device, to monitor any alcohol abuse, and that's what we would request.
Okay. Mr. Richardson, do you have anything to add or suggest?
Judge, I think probation's biggest concern is that where she is staying, but there are access to vehicles there. So if, our biggest concern would be, Ms. Perry having access to a vehicle. There are some other concerns about extreme intoxication that I read in there. One of them, I know she was a previous nurse practitioner, but some of the information that we had received was she had showed up to work under the influence and was terminated from her position in that. So that would be our concern. The main concern is probation wants to get her help if she really needs help. But we would just want some more closer monitoring, if that makes any sense, than a portable alcohol monitoring device. I wouldn't want her to get in a vehicle and drive, if that makes any sense.
So do you think ETG testing would be a good substitute?
I think that the portable alcohol monitoring device is more accurate than an ETG testing.
Okay.
So if you were going to go with anything, I would go with Mr. Carroll's recommendation of a portable alcohol monitoring device. But, you know, in regards to having access to vehicles, that's probably the main concern right now. And there were some other reports that came in that said, you know, she was drinking excessively to the point to where she was putting herself in danger from the reports that I received.
Okay.
And sent in.
So obviously she is blessed. People love her. People care about her welfare. And so they reached out to the probation department with fears for her safety. And how can we reassure them that we are doing everything we can to make sure she is safe? Do you think that portable alcohol monitoring device will be enough? And maybe does Ms. Perry want to say something, Mr. Carroll?
Karina, would you like to address the judge?
Yes, I would, please.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I would like to say that thank you for your time. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for seeing me and for your time. I know I've made mistakes. I have a great life. I have a loving, supportive family. I want to get back to that, to doing well, to doing what I love to do. And I think with the home breathalyzer that monitors me 3 times a day, I never had an issue, not once, for 2 years that I was on it. And it was very effective. And if I can just get right back on that, I think, and back on all my A's, my counseling. And like I said, I have a supportive family. I have a great life that I want to get back to. And I made mistakes this last couple of months, and I'm very sorry, and I'm very blessed to be here. And I want to make amends, and I want to get back to how I was. And I think with that breathalyzer, with the 3 times a day that I blow, there's no chance of me even drinking at all.
And
Because,
Karina,
you know,
if I could interrupt here for a minute, because this is important, Your Honor. I think, again, what was happening at pretrial and in the early part of the probation was that she had that personal breath test device. She was going to AA. She had a counselor that she was seeing through pretrial, and those were very good steps and measures. And I think that what's happened more recently is she's kind of become a victim of her own success, in that she was doing so well that the monitoring stopped. And unfortunately, some things obviously happened that have caused this relapse. And so I think that if the court could go back to where it was and where there was success and there was compliance, I think she's motivated. I think that she has a proven track record of doing well under those kinds of steps. And that's what we would request the court do.
Oh, thank you. And you just stated what I had concluded, that something happened to cause her to relapse. Now, relapse is very normal, I understand. So doesn't mean that she cannot make a success of this. Sometimes, it's part of the process. But I think that we want to help you so that you do succeed. And we don't know what it was. Sometimes, this pandemic has been really bad because we often feel isolated we're not free to, have joyful moments with our loved ones. It just really has done a number on a lot of people. So that was my concern. We thought we were going to be fine, and then this Delta variant came back. And so, that has been a real cross for many people. So we, we care about you, and we want you to be safe, and we want you to have a good life. So if we make mistakes and, you know, become overprotective, I guess, or take away your independence, I apologize, but you just need to know that it's in the interest of protecting you and the community, because some bad things can really happen that will really impact on your life. You're young, you don't want, we want you to avoid those situations if at all possible. Okay. And whatever it was you were feeling, we want you to be able to deal with that, not just to deny it or pretend you can put it away and not have to address it, because those are real issues that really should be addressed, and not just pretend that they don't exist. So do you feel that if we go back to what we had before with that, maybe that same, I don't know, was that a counselor or was that a supervising officer? Who was that?
It was a cicada counselor that I can still, yes, I would see her at least once a week, but with the whole in person, but whenever everything happened, I started seeing her less and less. So, but I can make sure I can see her because it worked. Like Mr. Carroll was saying, seeing her work, the breathalyzer work, doing some AA meetings work. I even also recently got a psychiatrist, Dr. Ariel de Llanos, recently, just to help me because I was starting to feel, anxious and all that. So I also have him added things that can help me be successful with the breathalyzer and anything else you require me. And I just, want to be home with my family, and really, I don't go anywhere really. I don't, even this whole time I wasn't driving. When I was drinking, I was, not driving. So,
Well,
if I can just,
I didn't know that. I was afraid that if you were driving, that you would be harming yourself or somebody else. And so
no, I was not, and my family can tell you that. My family can tell you that I was not driving. I would take like an Uber or something, or just be at home. So if I can just be at home with the breathalyzer and my my cicada counselor, her name is Liz Garcia. I've been with her almost 2.5 years now.
Yeah. Okay.
But like I said, I stopped seeing her because of, more recently, like Mr. Carroll said.
Right.
But I can see her twice a week if needed. I can do AA meetings.
Karina. Okay.
All right. So then, yeah, that sounds. I'm happy to order that, so that makes it something that will be
Judge,
effectuated. So yes.
in addition, and I was going to let Mr. know this too. Mr. Lowry's already been informed. But we were going to request a rush TAP evaluation. So when her MTR hearing comes up, we can have a better idea of how to resolve that.
Okay. So how soon do you think the TAP evaluation will occur?
I think it was requested yesterday since it was a Monday.
Okay.
So let me check right now.
All right.
Since it was requested yesterday at 4:00 p.m., I'm still waiting to see when they can do that. They weren't sure if she was going to be in the jail, so they requested a rush TAP in jail. If she gets out, then we could get it done in person as well.
Okay. All right. Well, then I think that we all are happy that you're safe, Miss Perry. So your attorney's obviously done a very good job for you, but we are going to, Mr. Richardson, is there any way, if I order that she continue with the person she was counseling with, and just reimpose or reactivate the kind of relationship she was having up to this point? I know this pandemic has, caused everybody to be overwhelmed with cases. So is that a possibility that we could do that?
Of course, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. So I'd like that to start immediately. And then the TAP evaluation. All right, so Mr. Lowry, what kind of bond are we going to set on this?
What was the most recent one that we had, Your Honor?
It was 3,000.
So I would advise upping the bond. We have a set for the MTR hearing, but I want to see what the TAP evaluation says before we have that. But that's
Okay.
set for November 15th, I think.
Okay.
So as long as we have alcohol monitoring and we have a bond that's high enough to make sure she comes in and we get that TAP eval done in the next month before the MTR hearing, that's all that the state requires at this time, Your Honor.
All right, so is this a DWI first? I don't have any idea because I don't have that in front of me.
So, Your
That's
Honor,
correct, Your Honor.
this is a DWI first. We originally recommended it to DWI court, especially court, because there was 2 DWIs charged at the same time. Because she did not meet the clinical criteria, the offer was to TIC another DWI into this one. That's why it was 24 months long. And she has a previous obstruction in talks as well.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right, so I don't know. 10,000, is that reasonable?
Your Honor, could you reduce that? I mean, she's got quite a financial burden coming with counsel and with the various things she's going to have to be doing. Could the court consider 5,000?
I will consider 5,000, but then as soon as she is released, I want to increase it because I get the impression money is not a problem, and maybe that's a bad impression, but I want to be sure that she continues to act in her own best interest, and since the court can have some impact on that, I will set it for 5,000 now, but I do plan to increase it. So.
Well, Your Honor, I don't want to do anything that's going to cause her to get rearrested just because of some, technical change in the bond amount.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's true. I tell you what, can I do a PR bond for her? Is that unreasonable?
I think that's reasonable with the conditions that the court will determine, as
Well,
we've discussed.
yes. Right. Okay. So that way I'll do a PR bond for 10,000.
Okay.
And okay. And so with those conditions that she's going to use the portable alcohol monitoring device, she's going to do the TAP evaluation as soon as it's possible. She is obviously going to continue to not drive. Okay, and that's all I can think of right off the top of my head. Is there anything else anyone thinks is important? Okay. And then she's going to continue with the counseling as soon as possible and just basically reactivate the requirements that she was experiencing before this recent episode. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So if you will prepare that for me, I'll be glad to sign it.
I will do it.
All right. And if you need help from the clerks, they're glad to help you and obviously Aleda. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Well, thank you very much. Best of luck to you, Miss Perry. You take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. This hearing is adjourned. All right. So at this time, let me call on Matthew Finch. I see that you're here on your client.
Yes, Your Honor. Michelle Hernandez, I see her on the screen. I apologize. I was involved in a complicated sentencing in the 227th.
Oh, I understand. Everybody's very busy right now.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
I'd like to confer if somebody wants to talk to me about the case briefly, Judge. But there's some discovery issues, and we're probably going to need a 30-day reset. This is our first setting on the case. I've been in touch with my client.
I'll just give you the 30-day reset now, and then you can leave from the breakout room. And your client is, if you want her to wait for you, fine. If not, I can excuse her, and you can just reach her.
Go ahead and excuse, if you don't mind, Judge, you can excuse her, and I will call her after I'm done conferring.
All right. Okay. So at this time, we're going to get you a breakout room, Mr. Finch, and Miss Michelle Hernandez is excused, and you're welcome to log off at this time, ma'am. Thank you very much. Stay in touch with your lawyer, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right. And so you should get a prompt any minute now, Mr. Finch, okay?
I did, Your Honor. And is Aleda going to email me a court date, or we have it now?
Oh, I forgot to give that to you, right? How about November 29? Will that work?
That would work, Judge.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Judge. I'll join the breakout room. Thank you.
Thank you.
Am I excused? Am I waiting?
Yes, Miss Perry, you're excused. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry. You take care.
Thank you. Okay,
you can
thank
log
you.
off. Take care.
Okay.
All right, and Miss Morales, Marisa Morales.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm
Good
here
afternoon.
on Angel Gomez for the compliance hearing. And unfortunately, Your Honor, I've been unable to get a hold of him at the usual phone number where we were able to confer with regards to his pretrial diversion application and get that done and get everything in. And he was accepted to the program, Your Honor. And we just haven't been able to get a hold of him.
Okay.
So,
I'm sorry. I see you were on vacation.
Yeah, I'm on vacation, but that's okay. I understand. Yeah, I had let Aleda know that I was unable to find him, and she said to please still Zoom at 11:30. So I wanted to make sure I'm here.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your coming in for this. I don't have a copy of the violation report. I'm guessing that's what it was. So we'll go ahead and we'll try to get a hold of Mr. Gomez. Oh, there it is. It's the first violation report. Well, I don't like to increase the bond on that, but the problem is, do you not have a good phone number for him? Is that what happened?
The phone number that I have, I was able to reach him at, Your Honor, and now I just have not been able to on the same phone number. And it's been the same phone number since the origination of the case. So I really don't know the reasoning behind why he's not calling me back on that number, or I'm not sure.
Well, and I'll be honest with you, the only reason I set this compliance hearing is because I like an opportunity for them to understand that bond conditions are what keeping them out of jail. And sometimes they don't understand that, or maybe they're not told. I don't know what happens. But this was his first violation report, so it's not because he continues to have a problem. But, I mean, I don't want to increase the bond just on a first violation report when I could just try to emphasize how important it is that they, comply with their bond conditions. So I'm going to probably just reset this for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And if you can just have him come in, so I can just, or you can just tell him, look, It's really important. Otherwise, if I get to a third violation report, then I'm going to have to be a lot more aggressive.
Okay, Your
So,
Honor.
Okay, so we'll
Okay.
just go ahead and reset this, and hopefully you get a hold of him and make sure he understands.
Okay, Your Honor. That sounds good. What's the date?
Let me go ahead and just reset it for November 29. I said 2 weeks, but I'll just leave it at November 29. That'll give me
29's
more
a
time.
Friday, Your Honor.
Oh, it is a Friday? Okay.
And I know I'm in
so-
mediation that day
Okay,
too.
then that's not going to work. Okay, give us a date, Aleda, please.
Would October 26th be okay? The
Does that
Tuesday?
work for you, Ms. Morales?
I think so, Your Honor. Yes, I can. I have a new associate who just found out she passed the bar, so she should be sworn in by then. So I'll have her
Okay.
appear if that's okay, because I do have another setting that day, but we'll just try to tag team if that's okay with the court.
Certainly, that is
Okay.
perfectly fine. All right,
Great.
thank you so much. You have a wonderful
Thank you, Your Honor.
afternoon.
You
Take
too.
care.
Judge, I have a
Bye.
question on Gomez real quick.
Yes, yes.
On the
Thank
court
you, Ms. Torres. I'm sorry. I should have asked you for your input.
No, it's okay. I just have a question. On the court order from that first violation, it has the last date for him to comply on the
15 days.
28th of October.
Uh-huh.
So if he doesn't come in, I've been trying to get a hold of him too. I've been calling him and his wife and nothing. So if he doesn't come in, do I submit another violation for that day, or am I waiting till the next court hearing?
I would normally expect you to submit the violation report on the day that he fails to come in, because it'll give me a heads up. And even though the court hearing is the next day, I might just give him another 2 days, or I might just go ahead and increase a bond then.
Okay.
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 So I can't tell you what I'm going to do, because it just depends on how things are going at that time.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You
Thank
take
you.
Have a good
care.
day. You
You
too.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so who else is here? Mr. Parker is waiting for his attorney. Vanessa Garcia, Mr. Parker, Ernest Parker.
Yes.
We have reset your matter to November 29, and your attorney has been excused, so you are free to go, sir. I'm sorry we did not realize you were still here, but
Okay.
you have a
Thank
great afternoon, and stay in touch with your lawyer, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mauricio, Lucio, can you unmute yourself, please?
¿Sí?
Okay, ¿quién es su abogado?
No me dijeron.
Okay. Usted se va a consultar con la señora Castillo. Ahorita le vamos a mandar un mensaje.
Sí.
Va a tener un número de un cuarto. Usted va a tocar ese símbolo para
Sí.
poder platicar con la señora Castillo, ¿ok? Ella
Ok.
le va a hacer preguntas a ver si usted cualifica para un abogado del estado, ¿ok? ¿Entiende? Okay. Okay. Mr. Valdez, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you, sir.
Judge, on our prisoner, Mr. Diaz, I confer with Chris. He's got a case pending in 7. He wants to get with the prosecutors. So can we recall this in about a week, Judge, so we can take care of all 3 cases, hopefully?
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to reset it for November 29, but if you want to come in sooner, just reach out to Alita. She'll put you on the docket earlier, okay?
November 29th. Okay, Judge. And
And
Chris,
Your Honor,
Yes.
I believe this was also a compliance hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm just not fluent in Spanish, so I wasn't sure what was said.
Yeah, so the person I just talked to did not have an attorney. That wasn't Mr. Diaz, right?
Yes.
Oh, it was, okay.
And Mr. Valdez is just appointed, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. So then we can, well, Mr. Valdez, you already talked to Mr. Diaz, right?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we're just bring him back and reset this for,
He may be still in the waiting room, no?
no, I think he went to the.
He's
he
in the
didn't go to
breakout room.
Yeah, he went to the breakout room, right? Because, yeah, there he is in room 1. No, that's not the same one.
No, it was
Oh,
4.
it's in room 4. Yeah, he's in 4 still. Okay, will you bring him back out? Okay, so the good thing now, Mr. Valdez, you are his attorney. He did not have an attorney. I'm not sure he understood he needed to report to pretrial. So basically, you're going to keep him on the straight and narrow now, right?
Well, I'm trying that he was requesting another bond when I talked to him, Judge, but I told him that if maybe the state would offer him time served on his cases, he was going to accept it. So
yeah. Okay.
And
well,
Your Honor, he has a bond on our cases. He's being held without remand for his felony case.
oh, okay. Okay.
So
And
it has nothing to do with us.
that's correct,
Well-
Judge. And on the felony case, it's Mr. Miller's, according to Mr. Diaz. So he's going to have to deal with Mr. Miller on that case.
Oh, okay. All right. So basically, on this case, we'll just reset that for November 29. Will that work?
That's fine,
Okay.
Judge. If we can take care of
So-
it sooner, we will.
Right. So, Mr. Diaz,
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
you had an opportunity to confer with Mr. Jerry Valdez, who is now going to be representing you on the misdemeanor. Okay. Now you have some felonies that are still outstanding, and you have a different lawyer for that. So they're going to try to, stay in touch with each other and work this out for you. But at this time, we're not going to be able to do anything about your being in jail because you still have those felonies that is probably the real reason you're there. Okay. So, okay. So I'm looking at the violation reports, which is a reason I brought you in. And what I want you to understand is when you get out of jail, you still need to report because those conditions are what are giving you your liberty. You have to report. You have to do the conditions that were set by the magistrate. Let me see. For instance, you have to have weekly drug alcohol testing. Well, no contact with Jaylin Montes and Maria Montelongo Zavala. That means absolutely don't call, don't go near them.
Yes, ma'am.
Home Depot, you can't go near that. No possession of firearms. Weekly reporting. You have to report in every week. And you have full house arrest. That means when you're not in jail, you cannot leave your house for any reason. Okay?
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
know if this was all explained to you, sir, but it's really important that you comply with these because this, when you get out of jail, are the reason you'll be able to move around freely in your house and that you'll be able to not be in custody in jail. So if you do not follow every one of those conditions, then you're going to end up back in jail, right? It's better to be at home than in jail, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, sir. I'm just not sure that you understood that when they let you out of jail the first time. So you understand now that you actually have to follow those rules, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, Mr. Diaz, it's time for lunch. Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you, sir.
So, ma'am, will I get a bond on my theft charge though, or no?
Well, it's sort of, I don't know. Your lawyer will take care of that. I don't see any point in it because it's the felony that is keeping you in jail.
My lawyer for my felony, he's gonna request a bond for my felony.
All right.
And
Well, now you have a lawyer for your misdemeanors, and you're going to talk to him and stay in touch with him. He's going to give you good legal advice. That's why you have a lawyer, okay? Because law can be complicated. All right, sir. You need to stop eating while I'm talking to you, sir. Okay?
yes, ma'am.
This is court. All right. So I'm going to excuse you. If you have any questions, what is the name of your lawyer, sir?
Anthony Miller.
And what about the misdemeanor?
Well, he was gonna.
Jerry Valdez.
Yeah, I wanted to have Mr. Diaz tell me. You understand your lawyer for the misdemeanor is Mr. Jerry Valdez, right? And you already talked to him, and he's a very good lawyer. Stay in touch with him, okay? He'll keep you out of trouble, okay? So you don't end up back in jail once you get out, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Just listen to him very carefully, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Valdez, Mr. Diaz, I'm going to excuse you, sir. You can tell the guards that you can log off at this time. Mr. Valdez, and we're going to come back to court November 29 on your case, on this case, Mr. Valdez, Mr. Diaz. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. If you're not in jail, be sure you come to court, because if you're not in court, then I feel compelled to issue another arrest warrant. I do not want to do that.
Do you think they'll give me a bond? So if they give me a bond for my felony, what happens with my bond for my theft charge or my misdemeanor?
You have a good lawyer. He will do what is necessary, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You can trust your lawyer, okay? He's your advocate, okay? Under the law, okay? He's not going to do anything that's not lawful, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. You can go ahead and log off, sir. Mr. Diaz.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Valdez?
Sir? Yes, Judge.
I think we're going to come back November 29. I don't know what's going to happen about the bonds, but obviously you're in charge of that now.
Yeah, but if Chris gets back with me within a week, Judge, we're gonna work it out, so.
Okay, that's fine. We're very glad to be flexible about that, okay?
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Valdez. It's good to see you. You free to log off too. Thank you.
And we'll see you Thursday.
Thursday? What is
The
today?
jury trial, Your Honor.
We have that jury trial, Judge.
Okay, I cannot think beyond today. I'll have a lot on my plate today.
Yes, ma'am. Okay,
We'll
Judge,
see you
thank you.
Thursday. Thank you, Mr. Valdez. You take care. Okay. All right. Well, we're done.